Welcome to the Motley Croc Show. I can't believe how far into the year we are. Sometimes I like that music in the background because it kind of feels like I'm in church. I don't know if I should have my hands up or what I should be doing. It's going back and forth. Like, do. And I watch a guy, don't go. We got to start. So, as always, behind the scenes, we have Brittany from Brit Investigates. So,
hello.
We are here tonight to talk about some stuff and why people come in. We'll just kind of catch up a little bit with everybody. We had a good time. The weekend was great. The conference was amazing. Please comment too. If you guys are on, you can hear us and you want to comment, please do that. I'm going to go ahead and check this. What's up, Bill? I'm going to go ahead and check this out.
Hello from Hollywood.
Are we going? We're going to do it. Yeah. Here we go. Let's see here. Boom. Let's open this up. All right. So we are back at StreamYard. I actually figured out a way that we are live now on Instagram as well. So on my Motley Croc Show, we're going to be live. So that's going to help us out a lot. Exploring the unknown. How are you doing, bro? We got to come back and do your show.
Yeah.
Would be like to hear. Craig came down to see us. I want to say, you know what? Craig Warren came to see us, and I really love that because he's cool as fuck. And his friend was cool as shit. And I always I love hanging with them. I really do. They're just, it makes your day. And everybody was great. It was a really good time.
It was good to see Craig. It was nice to see another familiar face that popped in. It was like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah. Normally Craig's cool. He has this mischievous face. What's he got? Because, he's the one that brought us up to the cookie dough shit, bro.
It's true.
And, I can't. You're going to love this. I remember his daughter's like, I'm going to pour it. And I was like, oh my God.
He brought me the peanut butter because I can't drink it.
Sean, what's up, dude? And
hey, Sean.
Yep, Sean's here too. Oh, come on now. Craig, I don't know. We had a good time. Thank you for coming. All right. Awesome. In the process of buying a house. Good for you. Well, congratulations on that.
That's great.
That's a tough one. 100%.
That is, especially nowadays.
But yeah, Brittany, I want you to talk a little bit because I'm sure they're here for you more than me. Because, like I said in my promo when we were talking about coming on today, we digress. This show is based around certain topics. Right. But people come here mainly, we're talking to Marissa earlier. People come here mainly to laugh and we learn as we go. We just funny shit, or we'll pick a topic and then somebody will give me a comment and we go off on the comment. We talk to them. And then so we kind of digress, but that's what this show's about. This is just a meeting. I don't have this organized thing. Sometimes we're going to talk about this. Brittany will. And then we're going to spin off of that tree somewhere. But
I start with something.
The convention was really good. I want to talk about that. The convention was great.
Yeah.
I really liked meeting some of Brittany's friends there. And there were some people coming up and talking to me about experiences and stuff. I've never had one. And so nothing even close. So I'm like, got to talk to Brittany about that. And they were asking me questions I really didn't know. In fairness to me, I work with the wildlife angle of the show. But nonetheless, they were great. And I really enjoyed hearing some of their stories. I mean, there was a lot of things that people were talking about. And it's interesting to me because, there's something going on.
Yeah.
Not just with Bigfoot, but with anything weird. There's definitely something going on. And I think that's, a lot of people have the same thing. Now, I might feel, about people say the same thing. T-Balls, what's up, buddy?
Brother from another mother.
So just so everybody knows, this is Tony. And he's a big shot now. And he just got transferred over to the new park at Universal. So he's been fucking busy as hell, that guy.
Yeah.
But he is definitely a good friend of ours, been part of the family. We go all the way back to medieval times days together, me and him. So it was a good time.
No missing. But again, weirdo.
Yeah, but again, that's going to be a really good time for him too. That new park, whatever, I forget the name of it already. Do you remember
Epic.
it, Brittany?
Yes, epic.
So it's going to be epic.
It's going to be epic because it is epic. Actually, I will just digress for a second. I follow all of these Universal leak accounts. And then I think Universal has one. Tony probably knows about it. But I have been just floored from the How to Train Your Dragon location within Epic. They have Toothless had babies and you can have a meet and greet with Toothless. And and I'm going to tell a little spoiler secret because I saw the behind the scenes from a drone footage.
That we did not get from Tony.
That we did. No. This is online. This is online, not from Chops.
Tony's been quiet. I've been pounding him. What's this? What's this? Oh, I can't talk, brother.
It's insane. But they took the robotic dogs and built mini dragons out of them. So they're interactive. They walk around, they bow, they talk, they come up. The heads are all robotic. They blink, they make sounds. watching these videos coming from the teasers and previews of what's to come, I'm like, even freaking Toothless, when you have the meet and greet with him, his nose wrinkles up when you pet him. I am like, I can't wait. I don't care if it's $1,000 to go. I'm going to do it tomorrow, but I want to be at the front of everything. Like, I cannot wait to just go.
I think it's going to be really cool. I think they did a good job with it. I mean,
I'm stoked.
If you're a kid too, like if you were a little kid, that just,
My God.
I mean, we had Disney World and stuff, and like you would ride rides,
level.
and then like some of the people would just touch you and stuff. But now it's like it's a whole different level,
I can't wait. I'm so like, they were showing stuff from Harry Potter. I showed it to my kids, and they were like, "What? When are we going?" I'm like, I don't know, because it's probably going to be madhouse for a while.
We keep pass holders, and we buy the premiere. And everybody's like, if you're a cheap motherfucker and you don't get the top of the line thing, you really miss out, because it's fun to go. Even if you're just going to go hang out with your friends, some people like to have a beer, walk around, whatever, ride rides, whatever, flying high on whatever. But they give us, we can actually go anytime we want after these couple of dates. Like it starts at the middle of April. We can go. As a pass holder, they give you a heavily discounted ticket for the day. So,
oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh
so I want to see it, but I think I'm going to wait till June because it opens in May. But we can go to the preview. But they did apologize that, some of the things might not be working or open if you go to that. So I just might wait till after the crazy bash of people that go there. And then I'll just go there and I'll spend the money and buy fast passes if they offer them. I mean, I don't know if they do.
Tony, do they?
But I'm sure he may or may not know that, but they might. I don't know. Probably not at first because it's going to be so busy. I wouldn't think that would be I don't think it would be feasible.
Probably not. I would think probably for the first, I bet for this whole summer, I guarantee you families are lining up ready for as soon as school's out to go to Epic. I just have that. Yeah. May 22nd. It's right around your birthday.
Yeah, dude.
It's gonna be an epic
cool? What's
birthday.
up, Seth?
Hey, Seth.
He said not sure on that one. See, that's what I was thinking. But you got to understand, man. I mean, this is an epic thing because I remember when Universal Studios opened.
Yeah.
When I remember when it opened.
Yeah.
And we went. And, that was the thing. Like, it was like, you're going to see E.T., you're going to see Jaws. I mean, I know Chops remembers that, man.
Jaws, man.
I remember when it opened. I mean, Ghostbusters had a ride and everything. It was insane.
And they had Herc and Xena. They had freaking Bates Motel where you could go inside and see how they do all. Remember all that? Like they still have those videos on YouTube. And I was trying to show the littles that the other day, and they were like, "Is that still there?" I'm like, "No, it's not still there." It went
so like
to
this is going to be a thing for like Finn and them when we're dead. You know what I mean? Like we'll be gone, man. Me and Chops by the time Finn's in his 50s, we'll be dead.
Maybe not. Maybe you'll be like cryo.
Yeah. So he'll be like, "Oh, remember that day when you guys opened up, Mom?" And you'll be like this. Yeah, I
remember. Yep. Or maybe not. Maybe
they'll roll you in there and you'll be all crotchety and all with your hair all hanging down. They'll be rolling you in the wheelchair.
Maybe not. What if I'm one of those?
Dragon.
Maybe there won't be any lines by then.
No, because we'll all
been open for so long.
There won't even be people by then. I think we'll all just be little spirituals stuck in these little jars and we'll be floating around.
That's true. In like little chairs. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, this is going to be huge.
Because I do remember them open Islands of Adventure. And I know he remembers that. But I'm talking about the original old park when they opened it. That was fucking awesome. Yeah, Tony, that's really cool. So I think people really like that kind of stuff. I think
this one's gonna be huge. And they have Super Mario World in there too. Like there's relevant things that kids are now like involved in because of the new movies and everything coming out. Now you have the live action How to Train Your Dragon coming out. Like you're gonna get a whole new generation of
right on
people, not just, it's going to be an all age thing is what I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be amazing.
Which is good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which is good.
I feel bad for like the old park. I just like, I'm going to be honest. Cause with Tony on here, like I truly miss Back to the Future and I am not a fan of the Simpsons location. Like, I'm just not like, I walk through them like, no, let's just keep going. I don't want to do this. Like I miss Back to the Future.
A lot of people do. There had to be something going on with what would be the word? Copyright or something, or they don't own it anymore or something, because Tony will probably know, but they did take that out because that was a major, that was a major movie. But I think it would be good.
Yes. I want to do the ride.
What
I
is
know
it?
it's closer.
What's Dark Universe, Tony? I'm curious. I
That's
don't
all
know.
the monsters. That's all the like horror Hollywood monsters. Like they're
Oh,
like
Tony, I want to hang with you too if there's monsters
Frankenstein
involved.
has like the old like what was the name of the place, Tony? Like Frankenstein's, like where they set it on fire. Like they actually have, and it's like the what do they call those out west, Troy? The not the oh my god, in the farmlands, and you see them, and they have the windmill.
Oh,
The
windmill. Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, windmill, yeah.
But they have that, and then it's actually on fire. Like this, like it is like it's actually on fire.
Oh man,
I'm
stop
such
it.
a sneak. I'm reading the whole thing. I've watched every video.
I'm excited. You know what else I'm
pumped.
excited for this year? Halloween falls on a weekend.
Does it really?
Yep.
Thank God.
Halloween falls on a weekend. And that reminds me of an old song by the Ghetto Boys. Halloween falls on a weekend.
It's
My
about
mind's
time it
playing
falls on a
tricks on me is the name
weekend.
of the song. For those of you that are old enough to remember that song. My mind's playing tricks on me. But this year, Halloween falls on a weekend. So I will definitely have a really good time here on that night.
Halloween party. What? Because when it's during the week, it sucks.
It does.
It really
because
does.
I think everybody should get the next day off because that's like a family thing, but they don't do it.
Yeah, because all the kids go out trick or treating and stuff.
Closed and all this kind of shit. Why they keep it open? They're not learning anything the next day. They're all in fucking sugar coma. I mean, it's like.
Yeah. No, I agree.
What are you going to get? I mean, there's just the stupidity of school to me. It blows me away.
It's too much.
It's ridiculous.
I swear, I think my kids learn more at home than they do in school. Like, honestly.
What's up, Jude?
It is what it is.
So that's what's up, Judy. Yeah, but it falls on a weekend, so I'm gonna definitely do it up as long as we don't get robbed again by a hurricane, because that's.
Oh my God. No, let's not jinx that.
As long as we don't get robbed by a hurricane, I think we'll be okay. You know what I mean? Yeah, Sean's across from me, and we're going to make it a really big thing this year, and I think that's going to be. Yeah,
it's gonna be
Sean
awesome.
and I were talking about doing something to way it kind of blends in or whatever.
That's cool. Well, being directly across from each other, that'd be really cool too.
Yeah, if I worked a job on Halloween, I would have quit. I'm just telling you.
That's like at the theme parks where they
Halloween is my thing, man. Look at my fucking house. I mean, this is how I live. I mean, Halloween is the best. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
And a lot of people don't understand, like, you go all the way out for Halloween. Like, it is an amusement park at Troy's house for Halloween.
Yeah, you know who else used to do that? Wendy.
Yeah, but she hasn't done it. She didn't do it last year, right?
She retired it, but she did it for a lot of years, and I was glad to make two of them. Had a really good time. That's for those of you who don't know, Wendy is Flavio's sister, and she was one hell of a Halloween person. I mean, she put it on. Haunted fucking trails in her back. You had to survive, and
awesome.
Acting, and we were all there. It was great time, dude. Great time.
That's awesome.
And so
I still remember, like, your invitation was a voodoo doll.
Yeah, I still have it, and I have that, and my and the jar with the graves. I still have.
That's insane.
Yeah.
She did go all the way out. I will say that.
Oh,
I never got
absolutely.
to attend one, but
absolutely, and I'll tell you, it's gonna be good this year because I'll do it good. Now, only the people that I know and care about will be invited to come partake in this. I mean, I know that my neighborhood people come too, but I don't open it to just everybody. I'm sorry, that's not me. I don't do that. And
privacy setting.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll definitely, who you are, and I'll personally reach out to you. It's not that I wouldn't love to have other people, but I need to know you. And
well, it's your home.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing, and I don't do it to get recognition. I do it because I love it. It's fun. It's just like this show. A lot of time, guys, some of you that are just tuning in, I've been kicked out of algorithm on this thing for a lot of times because people don't like monsters or talking about anything. We don't do anything really political, but if somebody has something or they say something, it gets to be a fucking, oh, you did that with this, and then they get upset. What's up, Tank? How you doing, brother? And then they just kind of like boot us down. But I've been doing this show for about 6 years, kicked off, banned. So I keep a couple pre-recordings in case I get banned. At least I can upload it, but I can't go live, whatever the fuck they try to ban me. So stupid.
Only takes one person. Only takes one person to ruin it all for everyone.
Yeah, man. What is it with all these idiots with voices?
I don't know. I've recently I've just learned a lot about certain people that I thought were good people or thought were my friends, and I've learned a lot lately, and I just was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm gonna just put this out there and make it very clear that I'm not fake. I will call you out on your bullshit to your face. But if you are fake, I don't want you anywhere around me, because that's not the energy or the kind of person I want in my life. Like,
yeah, but they're not. They're not going to show you that. It's just the way it is. And unfortunately,
of course,
not every. I've got some good people in my life, and
yeah,
there have been a few fucking ding dongs, and I think some of them really start out good. I just think that they get overwhelmed, or they want what you have so bad that they turn on you. I think they can't help it. It's just it's a weak person. And that a lot of times happens, and people don't like you to say that, but I mean, that's really the kind of truth of it. And I think we're in a world now where we can say what we want to say. I mean, some of the idiocracy is subsiding, and I kind of like it, but but I still believe in freedom of speech, and I don't care what, if I disagree with you, that's great. You should be allowed to talk about it. I don't care if I like it or don't like it. It's not up to me.
Right. Well, and you
the
should
only
be able
thing
to
that's
be
up to me, the only thing that's up to me is if I turn it off.
Right.
But if you do something, I'll just tell you right now, if you do something completely that I'm just totally against, and I think you're a fuctard, I'm done with you, friend or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want you around me. So find your own group and troop up with them, because I'm going to offend you somehow. I'm going to offend you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to get offended because you're sensitive. I'm not. I read comments about me and stuff all the time online. That I don't care about that stuff.
Yep.
I don't care about that stuff.
I ignore it.
I mean, we all know there's each one of us, myself, Justin, any one of us. No, Jeff's on a contract tonight. He told me he couldn't be here. He's working, guys. He's saving lives. But like, you can say whatever you want about us online or whatever and confront. I've seen a lot of people, they'll type stuff up and even talk crap and then see Justin in person. They're like, oh, I'm sorry, man. I want nothing to do with that. Yeah, I know. So, showing up at somebody's place where they work, their establishment, where they live, whatever, in the Bigfoot term, their domicile, that's a good way to leave looking like Swiss cheese. I mean, I don't think I would hesitate to open fire on you in a rapid way if you were in my land or my space and I felt like me or any of my animals or anything, like anybody was threatened. I think that's where we're going to have an issue. So as far as talking online, you're going to find a lot of that. That's just going to happen. And their lives aren't that great. I'd never go talk online, dude, about people.
No. Why would you?
I don't care.
It's so dumb to me.
I see some idiotic shit all the time out there. I'm like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. But I'm not going to go talk about it. Just, okay. That's what they're doing.
Yep. It's a special kind of breed.
I don't want them doing it to me. So you can do what I think is dumb, and I'll do what you think is dumb. And you leave us alone.
Yep. Stay in your lanes. Just stay in your lane.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. I was like, I really agree with that. They do it on the line. I just don't do that, man. I don't. It's not that I'm not aggressive at times. I can be, but it's usually only if I'm defending something or someone or a friend or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's really where we're getting into it. You know how the Bigfoot conference was? You were there, so nice try. But what we're doing is we're on a different topic, Judy. Thanks, Exploring. You get what I'm saying. You probably had a lot of people in your life as well. Yeah. And that's what happens. And the more you do stuff, and you're going to find too, Exploring, when you start progressing into your show and your podcast, or you get more recognition, those people that are like right now are, on your titties, they're going to start trying to bite them off. You'll see them. They start showing up. They start turning colors. You're like, I see you little fucking green bastard.
Mm-hmm. Or you'll think you're doing them a favor because you think they're a friend of yours, and then they're just using you to get a level above you, and then they get above you and they act like you don't exist anymore. So there's always those people too. So be careful. Just be mindful that don't get your feelings hurt. It happens.
Yeah, that's what they do. And the more you do, I mean, no one's going to be, first of all, if I wasn't doing a TV show, which this isn't, Lost Monster Files isn't my first TV show. I have done plenty. So I'm just going to say that first and foremost. And so is Brittany. But if I wasn't on a TV show, these people wouldn't be talking about me. No. So they're sitting at home. Yep, you see what I mean, buddy? See, I'm glad we're getting somewhere we're touching, because, and I'm going to take that into the Bigfoot conference. Let me take that into the conference for you.
Yeah.
I have been to a lot of different types of events and conferences with what I do, right?
Yep.
Once they find a Bigfoot and they befriend a Bigfoot or whatever, and they bring it to one of those confidence, then you're going to have animal rights activists. And that's a whole different breed of fucktardism right there.
Yeah.
Fucktardism. So,
and now we're done in the algorithm.
Yeah, we're done. Fuck you. Take me
done.
off. So listen, here's the deal.
We're
So
done.
when you get into, and that's okay. I'm an adult show. I'm not meant for kids. So
I know,
when
I'm just
you
joking.
go to one of those places like the Bigfoot conference, the people were absolutely cool. Nobody was judging anybody there for what they were doing, whether you believe it or not, or don't believe it or do whatever. Okay. There was a lot of common interest, but people were showing, from what I could see, the people, not just the people that were coming, but the people that were on the platform with us and were talking with us or came over, that were next to us on the speakers row, whatever, they were all really good people. And they want to talk to you. They weren't judging you, weren't being mean. A lot of the other events we go to, it's always like sour grapes. This person's mad that you're there because you have better merchandise, or, oh, he brought this fucking, he's got better reptiles than I do. Or, and then, they're buttering up to you. Then they're trying to rob you. You just got to find them and cut them out. But I did not experience that type of person in the conference. And I think a lot of those times, in my opinion, I'm going to use this again, my opinion. Okay. Yes, Seth, 100%. Is that we got to where we are from working hard. I just didn't send it a headshot and they pulled it out of a thing. Go, let's do this. They found me because of what I do and the struggles I've been through in my life to get to where I'm at, to do what I do. All right. And there are people coming up in the industry now that have been through that are doing it. And what I mean by the industry is, like, if you're working with animals, or you're doing any type of outreach, or you're working with, hoof stock, or, Lance from Ohio getting into being a farrier. I mean, you're breaking into a new thing, and there's going to be other farriers that are going to be fucking treating him like shit because he's a better farrier than they are, because they're fucking lazy. You don't have to be, but you get lazy. So I've done the events and you get all the bullshit, but this event doesn't have. But then you get the real wacky stuff, like where they, and I hope this doesn't hurt anybody's feelings, but where everybody dresses up like a dog or a cat, and they're humping on each other and licking, conference and weirdos, and you know what the fuck they're doing. Everybody's in a costume. You don't know if the person's 50 grinding on a 13-year-old. You just don't know, right? I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it like it is. You don't know. And then like, hey, can you come out here and we're having this convention and we'd like you to bring your animals for all the other animals that are going to be here.
No.
Nope. I don't think I'll be doing that one this year, but I'm sure there's someone who will, and more power to them. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have those extreme weird things, and you go to like, car ones or like that. And you just get certain types of people. But I will tell you that of all the people at this last conference, I was really impressed. I didn't know what to expect, because look at me. I don't really fit in with that group. Okay. I mean, and that's not an insult to them. That would be an insult. They look like me, but I think it was cool because these, a lot of these people are just good old country folk. They live on the land, and they're God, guns, guts, and glory, or whatever. And they're just cool people, and they're so accepting. So the fact that they were cool and accepting to us, I thought it was cool. Like, I should be at like a horror convention. I mean, that's really kind of what I do. Right. So, but they were really cool. And I walked away with that. And I wanted to make sure that I was very clear on that when I said that. And I hope that some of you that we met who scanned it or see us, I appreciated it. I like to hear your videos, sounds and stuff of what you thought you heard in the woods, and some of the videos you showed me. I mean, that's awesome. And that's what I was telling them, Brittany, when a lot of them were coming up to me and like, well, we know you and Justin, you're non-believers. I feel like I was in church and they're like, non-believer. What the hell? And Lance, 100% true, got the shit kicked out of me. Right. So, well, that's sorry, Lance. I hope you're still standing. But what I was going to tell you was, with that being said, they're like, you're not a believer. But a lot of them also said to me, you look really angry in that show, or you don't seem like that now. They're like, you're like really chill for what we thought you were in the show. And I go, well, I was like that. I am that way. Obviously, I'm a darker character in the show. They want me to be a little bit more of my moody side, and I can be moody. However, this is how I told them, and I'm going to say it again nationally. There were out of the control of our production company. All right. They hire people, and out of their control, people were doing things and wanting us to say things, or somebody would read a note from the network and they wanted me to say it. And I said, I'm not going to say it. And so they would make me mad. And so I told them there, I would get mad, because I'm going to tell you why. I've never seen a Bigfoot. I can't tell you if they're real or fake. I'm not going to tell you they are real. I'm not going to tell you they're fake, because I really don't know. Okay, that's where I stand on it. But I know that these people who have had an experience, no matter what it was, okay, they saw something.
Mhm.
To them, it's golden. Like, listen, I can share this with somebody. Why would I fucking lie to you?
Right.
Why am I going to be like, yeah, that pile of cockroaches right there? That's what they do. They sit there like this, and they kind of use their nails and they pull the car. I'm not going to do that. I think that's fucking terrible. And so when you see us out there and you see us doing that stuff, if I'm cranked up, guys, it's because I'm trying to deliver a real deal. Because at the end of the day, I come back to a real life, and I'm going to meet real people. And I want to be transparent with those people, just like I am on the show. And so there's an importance to that. And I mean, you really got to do that. Tara is a non-believer. I know, she told us in front of all those people.
I know, those poor people. She said it's so loud, like that they were crazy.
I know. She's like,
there's
these
nothing to
people are
believe in.
so damn weird. What are they talking about? Like they would have found it by now. Oh, darn it.
I can see Tara.
Makes me going to have to go out there and have me a Newport.
I see Tara right now. I did not.
She's like, I fucking hate you, Troy. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him. Oh, look who joined us. Hello, Megan. Good to see you.
Hi, Megan.
But yeah, again, a lot of those
It's
people
true.
tell me some cool stories. And I'm going to tell you, I have respect for the military. I've never been in the military, but I have really good friends that have. And I come from a family of military men from the Marines, the United States Army, and the Navy. Okay? So when we have military veterans saying stuff to me, these guys aren't just trying to get on TV, and these guys aren't trying to, I mean, they're just like, listen, I saw this. Don't really know what the heck this was, but we were doing this, and by God, it sure looked like what they talk about. That to me is a very credible thing. That's a credible thing to say.
Yep.
And even when it really was disappointing. I'm sorry, Sean. And even when they're telling me a story, like, yes, I'm picking some things apart. Listen, you don't have to lie on
Tara's
public
defending
airways.
herself.
You don't have to lie on public airways to be our friend. We still care about you and cherish your friendship nonetheless. Every one of those people there, just know they could have started Bigfoot preying on you and you'll be a believer, right? Coming from a little church girl like Tara. I don't even want to hear it. So, right? So those people are, I mean, there's just some truth to that. So I think it's even we collect evidence if we're looking for, like, even say Daniel, for instance, he's like, hey, I'm going down to hunt chameleons.
Yeah.
Right. For those of you that don't know, in Florida, we have some invasive species, and they're in different locations, whether they were put there by somebody as a breeding colony so they could go back and collect, or if it's just outright hunting or something got away. So, but they keep that secretive because people want to go there and see it, and they don't want them all pulled out and plucked or whatever. They just want to see.
Yep.
And so even at that rate, you hear a story like, I saw one here. This is where we were. There's a mark there, and they like this tree. And it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes people look up there, and if you're not a reptile person, you won't know what I'm saying. And if you do, you will. They'll look up at their light and they'll see a Cuban nightingale, and they'll be like, oh my God, it's a chameleon. They run back and they think it was a chameleon, but it wasn't. There's a lot of misidentification, even in that field of herpetology and wildlife hunting. I mean, so to me, it's fun. Like, I would love nothing more than to be standing there with Justin and one of them big fuckers come up to us and look at us.
I would
You'll
love
die.
that. I probably would die. I would probably die only because I think
I want you to see it by yourself. I think you need to be all alone when that happens.
I don't think anything would happen to me.
I
really don't.
I read stories. They were telling me that they take women and stuff, man.
These are like, this is like, first of all, let's just clarify this. That is like a small percentage out of all the cases. We're talking like a 0.1% in one village.
And there's a lot of indigenous that say they will take you. No, that's in the state, in the country too, in the States. There's a lot of indigenous that they'll take you.
As a whole, most of the time.
And I would trust indigenous over any white scientist. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
No.
Sorry, Whitey.
I know.
Sorry.
But
if an indigenous person said, listen, this is what goes on, don't go up there, they'll kill you. I'm not gonna fucking push that envelope.
Well, no, but like they'll tell you too. Like if you take more than you're supposed to take from the woods, they'll appear to be like, you're taking more than you need to take. So we're out.
Do you think a Yeti and Bigfoot are the same?
Like, I think they're from the same genus.
Kind of like
just like humans.
Crocodilian, kind of crocodilian crocodilian alligator kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean,
me too, Seth.
I think in a sense, like when we talk about Sasquatch and Yeti and all of that, I think that it's a lot like the human lineage. I don't think that it's one specific only this is it. I think we have like an actual branch off of lineage of different types that have basically evolved and adapted to different areas on the globe. That's why we have so many accounts all over the planet. So I think Yeti and Sasquatch would have been probably the closest relatives in the human, or in the Homo erectus, probably in their own genus, probably.
We're not talking about ant here tonight. We're talking about.
Homo.
I mean, let's not.
No, but like for them in particular, the only reason I say that is because coming from Russia and what we know about the Yeti actually had a different name from what they were called in Nepal. Yeti is an Americanized name that we gave them when we were hunting them. Okay. So Yeti is actually a different term. That's what the Russians gave it. Okay. So, but I do think, and I don't know, and I honestly, the whole white coloring still gets me. Because like what you have taught me and what I have learned about morphology and learning about evolutionary traits.
Will be besides that, up in the cold areas, there are animals that will take on a white coat in the winter.
Right. So that's what I was going to say. So that's what I mean. Like, so when you had, because you had mentioned that with me with like the fox and things like that, where it's only during the winter to blend in.
I'm going to leave that up so people know what we're talking about.
Which makes complete sense.
Right.
And if you actually talk to the indigenous and the natives of Nepal, they have constantly said they're not white all the time. They're dark brownish and reddish brown in color, but only turn white in the winters when they cross the high peak for food.
Okay.
So that tells me that when they have to cross in the winter months over the peaks, like you said, with animals changing their coats during certain times of the year, then for me, I almost feel like the type of Sasquatch Yeti that are living in this area might actually have a different color coat during certain times of year for better blending and techniques of hiding. Versus where like Sasquatch in Washington and on the West Coast, they don't ever really have to worry about that. The blending in is very dark in color and stuff, just like the bears. Like they would never need to have that type of morphology. Do you know what I mean? Like through their genome would never have to alter at all through evolution to make that happen. As to where Russia goes through high seasons of winter where everything is white.
People are texting me. You guys can hello.
So that
you guys can text me on the target box here too, guys. I'll be able to see you and respond a little bit.
And snow leopards too. Yeah, they do the same thing. Their coats change.
Oh, their coats blend with the season.
Right.
Like they it's not like they go white to brown. They blend with the season. So if you really read about them and you kind of see it, they just kind of blend with the seasonal changes. It's pretty neat, actually.
So why, you sit there and go, why couldn't other animals do the same over a period of time of evolving? And
I wanted to say this, and if anybody is into, there's a lot more people watching than commenting. So if any of you are watching and you have that type of experience, or you're, a Sasquatch researcher or whatever, there was a video, I want to say about 10 years ago, that I had been trying to find, and it was in Russia. And there's a group of people hiking, and they're like talking about something, and they're climbing like, snowshoes or whatever. Like it's a normal, and it very well could have been staged. I'm not going to lie. But all of a sudden, this thing just fucking was in the middle of a standstill behind this pine tree and like took the fuck off. And the guy with the camera filmed them. It's running as fast as it can. It just took off next to them. They didn't see it.
I know who has that footage. I can send
I want to see it. And the guy starts like hyperventilating, and the girl turns back. They're speaking in Russian. I can't. Like it just took them by surprise, and it like vanished off the internet. But I remember seeing it. It was there.
Are you talking about when it turned and it ran? Like it was massive in size and like clearing through the woods faster, like massive, right? Is that the one you're talking about?
It was in the snow, and they were on ground level with them, and it took off out of the right side. He followed it with the camera, and you can see the back of it. It had a grayish white shag.
Oh no, I'm confusing it. There's another one that there was hikers in the woods, and it was in Russia, and literally they came up on this thing. And when I tell you the width, it's not possible to fake this. It's not possible. It's not possible.
Well, I'm not saying it is or isn't. I'm just telling you.
I'm saying the one that I saw, like if they did, it would be insane. I wouldn't even know how to start how they would fake it, just by the pure mass and size of width of this thing and how quickly it navigated through the density of that fort. Like, I don't have an explanation. Like, I don't, that particular video, and I know who has that one. I'll send it to you later and you're going to be like, yeah, I see what you're saying. Cause it's the way that that's the ones that get me. Like, when you can tell it's like very human-like movement and the arms are the same length as it should be. Like, there's certain morphology to a Sasquatch of what we have learned through what we believe are actual footage or could be potentially actual footage that we try to compare others to, right? And then there's just some that just floor you where you're like, okay, seriously, right now, I don't have an answer for what I'm looking at. I have no idea what I just saw because that is the most ridiculous footage. Because there's also another footage, Troy, I think I showed it to you, when a family was driving through kind of like the back mountain wood range in Russia.
Okay.
And they're all talking Russian. And do you remember when this thing came up out of the tall grass and chased their car? The kids.
No, I don't believe I've seen that one. I would like to.
Oh my God. Even as a kid, I'm like, I can't imagine these poor kids because they stopped and they're like, is that a bear, Mom? And they're like, it was subtitles. Is it a bear? Is it a bear? Like, I don't know. And they're filming from like inside their little car. And this damn thing stands up and it's like 7 feet tall, broad shoulder, hardly no neck. And the husband had gotten out to see, and then he jumped back in the car and the kids are screaming and they're like, go. And this damn thing comes out from the grass and is chasing their vehicle. There's no way. And like that family, like genuine fear. Either they were pranked or it was a real account. That's the only way I could say it. Either somebody pranked this family or it was 100% real account. Like, it was intense. Absolutely intense. And there's just so many like that make me go, there's something to it. There's just something to it. And with the Bigfoot conference, that's the part I love. Like, I know that last week before the conference, I said, I hope I learned something new. And I did. Surprisingly, Craig, towards the end, I did learn something because you had asked me that. I did learn something new. I had a gentleman come up to me who just came right up to the booth to grab my business card. And he just nonchalantly said, I work for NASA and everything you're doing here is good. They are real. I'm just going to tell you then it's a money game. Have a great day. And he just walked off. And I was like, who was that guy? He took my business card, but who? I want to ask you more questions, sir.
Me too.
But he was like, I work for NASA, just kidding. John like looked at me because he was at the booth and he was like, that was really weird. I'm like, yeah, but he took my card. I hope he calls me. Like, I want to know more. But he was like, just stay on it. Just stay on it. You're doing everything right. I work for NASA. Like, he was a current employee.
Right. So that's pretty cool.
I was like, holy shit. But that's the part I like about it, right? Is like the Bigfoot community as a whole are great people. And it is cool to sit there and be in a place where you can talk these theories. You can talk about your accounts, whether it was 5 years ago or like we had that older gentleman that came up. It happened when he was in his 20s, remember? And he was like, I had the camera hanging from my neck and we saw this thing in the front of us. And he was what, in his 80s now? You know, and it's like,
yeah, I don't want to insult him. I think he looked pretty good, though. He looked pretty good.
He looked phenomenal. But I'm saying, I think he was 80. I think is what he told me, or something that's late 70s, early 80s. And he has videos on YouTube that he posts. He puts stuff up there all the time.
Right.
Sorry. That caught me by him.
Yeah, there's a tick on the bottom, guys. You can follow the non-believer of Bigfoot. It's at Tara.777_ and tell her your story.
Oh my God.
Like, just reach out to her, follow her on Instagram, tell her your story. I think she just needs to, hear some more stories. Go ahead and link up with her there and just go ahead and do that. I think she'd be really, really good with that.
Oh, and if anybody's really into Sasquatch, Yeti, or any of those tales, I really recommend looking up. His name was Tom Slick, and it was the Slick Cases and Slick Files. And him and his brother were like millionaires from Texas, really invested in uncovering a bunch of stuff, worked with Ivan, incredible. Like, they were kind of like Flavio's, Troy, like him and his brother. So here's a little quick fun tip about the Slick brothers, right? So they had wanted to go to Nepal. They wanted to smuggle out the Yeti hand, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
How do we do this?
They have a piece of head too?
Well, yeah, in Nepal they do, but they didn't smuggle that out.
Okay.
So they were like, how do we do this, right? Because if we go on an airliner, then when we do the airline, they're going to want to check our bags, and we can't just smuggle out this hand with a mummified hand that we're going to try and replace it with. So they tried to figure out everything. Well, then the brother was like, I'll open up my own airliner. Like, okay. So they open up their own airliner so they can fly and come and go wherever they want. No one has to check their parcels because it's on their plane. So they literally fly to Nepal and they're talking. Well, come to find out, they still have to have a customs check. So, like, how are we going to do this? Because we want to take the hand from Nepal and not let them know that we're taking the hand. And he writes about this all in one of his books that I have. And it's just fascinating to listen to this, how they break this down. So they're like, okay, well,
to steal it though. That's terrible.
Because they wanted to do testing. And the only way to properly get it tested to see if it was human or if it was whatever it was is to take it out. And they wouldn't let them do testing. And they're like, we're just going to sneak it. One of you distract. We're going to replace it. Right. So then the brothers are talking. They're like, this place is really like heavily guarded. There's no way that we're going to be able to, to like Temple of Doom here, like switch it out Indiana Jones style. So he's like, just get a finger. We'll just break the tip of the finger off and we'll put the finger in it. And then he's like, done. Okay. So allegedly, according to Tom Slick and his brother, and I have to say that because it's written in his book, but they managed to escape with just the finger and replaced it with a mummy's finger. So somewhere in Nepal, sorry guys, hate to tell you, but Tom Slick's he got you. But the best part is now they're concerned. They're like, how do we get this? We have a half a mummy hand in one of our containers, and we have a finger of something that doesn't belong to this mummy hand. So if it gets tested, we're in trouble. We're in deep crap because we just took from the local people here. Like, this is not good. So Sanderson, because he had worked so much in the field for so many years, and they always had to transport wildlife and they always had to transport stuff. And his wife lived with him for a long time in the Congo. And when they were studying the pygmy hippos and the blue hippos in the Congo, his wife would bring her luggages with like all of her personal garments. So she would have a personal garment bag and then all of her field clothes bag. So Tom Slick and Sanderson were good friends. And Sanderson was like, here's what you need to do. You're going to take, it was like Tom Slick's brother's, his wife, take her garment bag and put that finger in her garment bag. In that time frame, in that era, the gentleman would never go through a woman's bag. If they opened it and saw it was underwear and bras, they closed it up and moved it on. That was inappropriate. You didn't go through a woman's garment bags. So they smuggled it out of there in his wife's bag because freaking Sanderson was like, that's how it's done. They won't check that bag. So if you really have that finger, we need to have it tested. That's how you do it. And Tom Slick's like, done. So that's how they got it out.
So where's the finger?
Nobody knows. It went missing. They got it back. They got it back to the States for testing and it went missing. So somewhere, possibly in Tom Slick's archive, somewhere in Tom Slick's collection or his brother's collection, that finger might still be. It's like the missing finger. It's been like a true like mystery legend.
Are they not alive anymore? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So who can get into their stuff?
We probably could because of the connections we have in that regards to get into that
Might be kind of cool to see if it's there. Not to take it, folks.
Not to take it. I don't want to take it. I think just to find it and have it thoroughly and properly tested on the finger to determine exactly what it is.
I think there's a big cover up. I don't think they're going to do it. I think by now somebody would have had something. And every time someone sends something in, it either gets lost or
it always gets lost. But it's a great story. And I love that story. And it was one of the best. It was because Tom Slick was a part of the investigations in Nepal in the Yeti cases. And he was the one that actually strung up all of the frogs to lure them. He was helping do that because Ivan couldn't make it. So Ivan was saying,
I think stringing up frogs is very barbaric. And I also think that if you're going to do this test, this was one of my concerns with people who want to do testing with Bigfoot stuff or whatever. This is what always gets me.
Those are in the 50s and 60s. So
they always want to do this big production about it. We found this finger in a cave known to be a Yeti. We're sending it.
That sounded very good.
And then you see them because I see it all the time. And then you see them. They write on the bag. They'll write. Bigfoot cave, Russia point, and they send it in.
Yeah.
Why does somebody go, hey, one of the monkeys disappeared at our zoo. We think it got loose into the woods. We found some remains. We're trying to link it back to see if it was part of our colony. Can you please do the DNA work on it for us? We just have a piece of a hand left that we're able to dig up. We're not sure if it was killed here or snagged or whatever, but no, we have to write found Yeti. You know what I mean? And I know. So send it into something else, because if you're tagging it like that and there is a cover up, they're going to catch that. You can't even say certain words on the internet now without getting fucking tagged up because you said something like, "Oh, well, he made fun of somebody that, you know."
Well, or if you know somebody in a lab, like Marissa, like if you know somebody in a lab willing to test it for you, you bring it to somebody you trust. Like Ivan Sanderson had someone he trusted, and that's the only person.
Thank you, but I just thought it'd be an idea, like come up with a zoological thing and say, we're trying to see if this is part of our troop. We've been following this particular species of ape for a while, blah, 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 blah.
Yep. I don't get, I'll be honest, I don't get caught up in all like the new age or the new authors or the new stuff in the field. And I get a lot of people like, you haven't read their book? I'm like, no. I stay so old school because I feel like we lost so many really cool ways of doing things in the field that were really strong techniques. And I just kind of stick to a lane that I feel works. And it worked then. And if it's not broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Sage Pop. What's up, buddy?
But yeah, so I'm like, I don't know. Like I did have a couple of people introduce me to a couple new names and a couple new books, but they were published like in the last like 10 years. And not that I'm against that. It's just that I feel like if I clutter my head too much with so many opinions, and now it's become so supernatural in nature that we lose the authenticity and the original true investigative hunt for unknown animals. And I just think that I have to go back to the beginning and I have to start there. Like it was interesting enough. Someone mentioned to me today, cause I made like a dog man post and just to be fun. And they were like,
keep talking. I'm going to do something real quick here and I want to get off so I can move this around. Keep telling that story.
Okay.
I'll be right there.
And they were like, how do you feel about, John Keel's book in regards to like the Mothman prophecies? And it's not that the Mothman prophecies book isn't good. It is good. It just takes you on a multiple different directions of what was happening at that time. And it was published in 1975, like literally at that time in the area during the Mothman account and all the other weird crap that was going down at that time. And the blend over of maybe this is what this was. Could it have been supernatural? And the problem is like when you start blending into these things, then people start to move away from what the account really was in the very beginning. So not that I don't appreciate like investigative journalism and their opinion on what they took from it or what they got from it. I think that's the beautiful part of the field is that we keep advancing because somebody else might try a new technique or a new way of investigating in their journalism to get them to this new idea or new theory. And then it breaks an old mold and we start anew. But I just feel that we've slipped in cryptozoology, especially in a world where it used to be about hidden species of animals on our planet that we need to look for to protect or learn or find a new species that evolved that we were unaware of could even evolve to the way that it did. All like mythological, supernatural. Oh, it's a monkey.
Well, I just want to, I saw a lot of this. I saw a lot of this over at the convention. I saw a bunch of them on the screen. I want everybody to know that I have my own little colony of them.
You do have your colony of lemurs, but I want some squishies.
Let's see if I can hear squishies make a sound. Do your sound, squishy.
So squishy. It's like, no, I'm shy.
Yeah, they purr. A lot of people don't realize that.
My sweet little baby. He looks like he's wearing a vest. You see that pattern?
He's wearing his little tuxedo. He's got a little beard. Hey, buddy, you want to say hi? He's going to kiss him. But yeah, so I want everybody to see him. People ask me, are you going to bring him in? You're going to bring one of your babies in? You're going to bring one of your babies? My little Sasquatch right here. Look at the Sasquatch hand.
Little Sasquatch. I love their fingers.
He's got little Sasquatch hands. Like I could take a picture of his
He's being so shy right now. It's so cute.
He's not shy.
You're in the studio, pup. You're in the studio.
He likes to play around a lot of stuff. He likes to get into things. But anyways, he's a big boy.
Oh, there it is. There's the sound.
Yep, you did it. You want to lick the thing? You want to play? But people always ask me, "You're going to bring one of them on? I want to see one." So I'm bringing one on.
Look at him.
I want to bring one on.
He is so sweet. They're all amazing, by the way. All of my brother's lemurs are absolute babies.
Is that he said the hairiest puppy he's ever seen? Yeah, the hairiest baby. Yeah, he's a fuzz muffin. Hey, buddy. But he asked me. So they're cool. And so we do work with them. So there's a lot of things that work with. Justin has a lot of primates. And we do a lot of work with this type of stuff. So I just think it helps when we're out with Brittany because we can implement things that aren't necessarily implemented in the search for, this doesn't have anything to do with Dogman. Like, I mean, this would be more.
No.
This is also a prosimian. Okay. Just so we're very clear what prosimians are. And I know Dr. Maria worked with them too. Sophocles and things like that. So
Yep.
There's a difference between persimmons. But yeah, I hear you. Oh my God.
And just like Madagascar, where all these cutesies are from, they're still discovering new species in that location all the time.
Well, if you read up about
It's
Madagascar, the
fascinating.
only place in the world that lemurs come from is Madagascar. But if you really read about how they got there, how they evolved to what they are today, you know, there wasn't so many years ago when there were 200-pound lemurs, guys.
Yeah.
200-pounders.
I learned that from you. I thought to myself
at one particular time on that land, and that to me is amazing. Yeah. So everything has to go for a reason. Don't turn my stuff down.
Which is really cool when you think, could you imagine having a lemur that big? Like, that's a fluff puppy.
Grabbing your head and slamming it off the ground. No.
And when they want to be aggressive, no, thank you. No, thank you. Because their teeth are razor sharp.
They've got some big ones. Even at this size, they can put a hurting on you. There's many people I know that, you know, that went for that. So there is that too, to be honest. So.
And that's, you know, unfortunately, that's like the downside of working with animals. Stinky. They got to do them. They got to be them.
And, you know, I get people all the
so
time
cute.
like, oh, you imprison them. Nah, man. These guys live in the Taj Mahal with me. They live in their big things. They fly around. They come in the house. They get to
They live better than I do.
They don't have to worry about anybody eating them or anything. I don't take these guys out. These are my little kids. They spend time with me and family and friends.
Yep.
I don't take these out to events and all that and exploit them and stuff. I do that with alligators. But when it comes to, you know, they always tell me that. I like the word exploit. But when they tell me stuff like that, you know.
I do have a really good picture with him.
Yes.
I'll post it tonight.
Agreed. But yeah, I think that with that being said, like these guys do good, but also spending every time, you know, all days with these guys and the things that we do with them, it helps in assisting Brittany in her outlandish ventures.
Oh my gosh, they're not outlandish.
I mean, yours are insane.
I blame society. They're not insane.
Would you like to go back? It's supper time.
Technically, what I'm looking for the whole freaking scientific community should be interested in looking for, since they say we came from apes. So I'm just saying, this thing could be our ancestor running around out there. We're just leaving them out there. I'm just saying.
I don't know if it's our ancestor. Now you're gonna have all the religious people upset.
No, all I said
was, no damn monkey.
No, I'm not. I have to go on both sides. I fight with science on this all the time, where they're like, it doesn't exist. It's like, well, prove to me that it doesn't exist, especially based off of your evolutionary theory. I'm just saying.
It's earphones. You're okay.
I'm just saying.
Got a cute little beard.
Since I have to learn about that in anthropology.
All right, you talk about that. I'm going to put him back for dinner time.
Bye, Fussy Butt.
I'll be right back in 2 minutes. Fluffy Butt's going to get his meal. It's dinner time.
They are the best.
Once you give them food, there's no getting them away from that bowl, is there, chunky boy? There's no kid there. Don't pull my beard. He's pull my beard. They have hands.
If you remember, John said when I wanted my last child, and he was like, how about we not have our last child and we have a lemur instead?
And I was pull my beard off. Don't pull off my beard. What are you doing? They got hands like little human hands and they use them. All right, I'll be right back, folks. We're going to go get him.
I will. He puts the little guy away. I actually have some great pictures and videos with some of Troy's lemurs I will post tonight. And I will collab with Troy so you all can see them for whoever's watching, because I love visiting all my adorable, fluffy nieces and nephews when I go to Troy's house. But don't forget, he also has a kangaroo who is like super badass. I freaking love his kangaroo, a capybara. He also has oh my God, what doesn't he have? What am I missing? A cassowary, which I don't know if any of you, that's like literally a dinosaur. If you don't know what a cassowary is, or if you do, he has one, literally his dinosaur. Super, super cool. An emu, lots of tortoises, lots of different reptiles, crocodiles, alligators. I said the cassowary. Yeah. Which is amazing bird. Amazing bird. Lots of different varieties of exotic birds. Yep. Mentioned the capybara. Cappy dips in the pool, loves his life, enjoys life. The kangaroo,
Woo!
I got footage. I'll tag and collab with Troy later. Whenever I go to my brother, I always like catch up with my nieces and nephews, my fluffies.
Hey, Tammy, what's up? It's good to see you.
Hi, Tammy. Always the best. Always the best. Oh, no. So.
One thing about sisters, the male and female species, I think they're out there more than we know.
Of course they are, Seth. See, like mind. like minds think
I mean, I
alike.
think there's a lot of stuff out there that I agree with that statement too. Exploring what's your thoughts and then bringing back the dire wolf. We're going to get into that next week.
Yes, because Dr. Marissa Taya says she has to come on the show. We are not allowed to talk about the dire wolf without her being present.
Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate you saying that.
So I agreed that we
hello.
wouldn't, because if anyone's been following my Instagram, I've been pointing out a lot of their statements on themselves.
I know. That's what we're going to wait. We're going to bring Dr. Marissa Taya in. She's got a lot of research behind her there too. And, you know, people only listen to you if you're a doctor. So
it's true. I brought up facts, straight up online facts that people are always like, I can Google this. Really? I Googled, and here's the other answer.
The other fact
she
is,
said,
we can follow a non-believer in Bigfoot. Her name is Tara.777_.
oh, yes, please tune
she
in.
wants you to send her messages on your stories just so she can put some things together. And I said I'd be glad to do that. So we're going to put it up there. Follow the non-believer of Bigfoot, Tara.777_.
Let's help make her a believer.
That's what you need to do. So start sending her messages, folks. She gets bored all day. All right, what do we got here?
Oh, and then next week too.
Cool Exploring, and we'll come on your show again too, bud, whenever you're ready. Exploring the Unknown has a cool show. If you haven't checked that out, it's really cool. They do a great job with it. And I really like it.
Very good show. Very good show.
Yeah, they really do a good job.
Very good show. And then next week as well, on the topic of dire wolf and having Dr. Marissa Tayez on there, we are also going to have my friend Brooke on from Dark Florida. So if you aren't familiar with Dark Florida podcast, definitely take a listen to that. Brooke is going to come on and join us. She got to meet Troy this past weekend at the conference, which was really cool. It was just kind of fun for all of us to kind of hang out. It was a good place. Like-minded people, good people. It was just a really good time. It was nice to be back in a community where it's a lot of love and respect. We don't get a lot of that
community a lot. And that scares me, but I mean, I think it was good.
Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. I just mean like you find more like good people in the Sasquatch Bigfoot community, even in the ufology, like in the ufology community as well. Like when I would go out to Roswell and do my work out there, like the people that would come out to share their accounts or see something in the sky they can't explain. I think once you have that aha moment where you've seen something that you're like, I can't explain it, but you're scared to tell somebody. But then when you meet somebody you can share it with and they're not judging you, it's kind of like, man, okay, this is cool. Like I can be myself. And I support that. I think everybody should feel so comfortable to just truly be themselves. As long as you're not hurting kids or animals, just be you. And that's how we all make it work. Like just support each other, listen to each other without judgment. Like Troy doesn't always believe in the way I believe in things, but he doesn't disrespect me on it. Like he's not rude to me.
Sometimes I don't.
You pick on me because I'm your sister, but overall, you're not like, oh my God, my sister's a moron. You never like, it's always like, I don't understand how, but I mean, I think it's cool you believe in it, and that's fine. Like it's a different world than what most people live in.
Christians also say that dinosaurs never existed, since you went on that, Seth, but that'll be for another show. Some
Christians forget that they're
I mean,
we did meet on another note, and Troy will back this. We met an extraordinary, wonderful human being who is a wildlife ecologist, biologist.
Are you just because Seth used the word giant?
No,
why? Because the guy was 6'6".
No, we talked about giants. Like Philip and I talked about giants. He was a giant.
He was tall as hell.
Very tall.
Good for him.
But amazing human being, and coming from an academic background, interested into this because even in his field,
that's what Seth meant. The giants.
Yeah,
he's talking about the giants as dinosaurs, I think.
Oh, maybe. But anyway, like he got into it because he just felt there's just way too much going on with it for it not to be something real. And it really just, it was wonderful. And I hope that we can get him on the show eventually, because I think listening to how he broke it down, like even when we were talking to him, is fascinating for people to listen to how somebody like him.
I'd like to do that. I'd like to do that. But, people expect a lot of, trash here. So.
I get it. But every once in a while, it can be fun to like have somebody really cool.
We'll bring somebody really cool on for Brittany. Yes.
I'm just saying.
I mean, in your field.
Oh yeah. But it's not that. It's just sometimes it's cool to get people in a comfortable like couch setting. And I feel like this is what this is. Like we're being our authentic selves. You don't have to pay to come see us. We're here.
Well, two things on that.
Here to talk to you.
There's a cure for cancer for sure. 100%. There's a cure for cancer. They're not going to show it to you because,
the Nephilim, Seth. The Nephilim.
Like Bigfoot, it's a money.
And also people think Sasquatch is the Nephilim.
Giants.
There is a theory. There's always a theory with everything. But I'm just saying, like, this is like couch talk. So I think it's cool when we can have people on from different areas of work and field and come in and have a similar respect where we all talk about the strange and the unknown, and together we're still figuring out. Like you say, Troy, we're all students. And in this case, we still are.
We are 100%. I'm when people say stuff to me all the time, like, like, oh man, this is an expert. I'm not an expert. I'm not. I'm a full-time student, and I learn every day. There's things I know, and there's things I'm still learning, and there's things I do know that I get polished up on, and I really like that too.
And we got compliments this past weekend because Troy was talking to a couple of the fans that came up and were like, don't call us experts. Like, here's why, blah, blah, blah. And they praised us on that because they're like, thank you for finally saying that. Because you can be an expert, like a wildlife biologist. That's an expert in that field. But when it comes to like Sasquatch, aliens, the supernatural ghosts or whatever, there is no such thing as an expert because we aren't studying an actual physical thing yet. We don't have it yet. We're still learning. We're professionals in the field because we take it serious, but we're not experts. So I agree with Troy on that, because until we actually have a Sasquatch that we are watching and monitoring and learning from with a chip in, and we're watching it like wolves, there's no way to call yourself an expert. It's just very, I think that's kind of egotistical to be like, I'm an expert Bigfooter. No, you're not, because we haven't found one yet. Like, we're all finding the same data. We're all finding the same stuff.
Yeah.
We're all after the same goal.
I can think of a couple guys that something on the hill. I can think of a few. And
but you know me, I'm level-headed in that. Like,
sometimes.
Shut up. But I'm just saying, like, for me, it's like we all have foot casts, we all have hair samples. Like, if I was to put an expert on someone, I would say Professor Jeff Meldrum, like, hands down, because he's been doing this for so long. He has the largest collection of foot casts, hair samples, and everything. But even he doesn't call himself an expert in it. But even he doesn't call him. He's just like, I'm a professional. I'm looking for the answers. I'm looking for them. Thanks, Craig.
Hey,
appreciate that, man.
There's no other way to be. So I get embarrassed when they say that stuff on the damn show. Sometimes we get mad, folks. If you're watching, I will tell them, don't be saying that stuff about me. I'm like, I'm a professional. I'm not an expert. I don't like that word, expert.
Yep.
There's a few things.
Funny behind the scenes. I was with Charlie when they were doing an OTF with Charlie, and they're like, so mention that Troy and Justin are experts. And Charlie, like, he leans back and he looks at me and he goes, I can't say that. They do not like when we call them experts.
Yeah, because it's true.
It was the funniest thing to see Charlie's face. He's like, I'm not. They are professionals.
Yeah, well, if they were asked us to say something about Charlie, we would do the same thing. Like, that's not what he wants. He doesn't like that. And we're not going to do that.
Exactly. And he looked at me and he was like, right, Brittany? I was like, yep. I don't even like being called an expert. Do not say that terminology with us. No, we're just very professional and take it serious.
Yeah, we're professional. I'll tell you what we're experts at. Fucking off. Ain't that right, Craig? I'm an expert at fuck off. I can fuck off all day. I'm an expert at that. That I know how to do. You want to know how to do that? I'll tell you. Here's how you do it.
You and Jay.
But the other stuff, but the other stuff, we're good. I mean, but fucking around all day, I'm an expert at goofing off. I can do that all day, but that's the only thing I'm an expert in. And even then, I learned some new ones. I've seen and heard some things, especially from Craig. But on that note, we are 4 minutes into the hour, and I appreciate everybody coming out. And what's up, Bryn? How are you?
Oh, hey, Bryn.
If you guys want to catch the show, go ahead and catch it. It is uploaded on the YouTube channel right after it goes here, so you can go back and catch past shows. There's a bunch of cool stuff on there. Yeah, she's glad to see her home. So anybody can check it out, the old shows, or go back in. We've had some cool people on there. We've had Ricky Rocket. We've had a bunch of cool stuff. So if you guys want to go back and catch that, you can. That's where it's at. And we do this every week, and we come up with something. We kind of stuck to a topic tonight, which is very rare. Normally we're all over the place. Last professional show I think I did was Exploring the Unknown. And
thank you, guys.
Thank you, buddy. And I think that's really good. And so, yep, I wish. That's the greatest thing. I'm going to leave that up right there. I appreciate that. So tonight, folks, I thank everybody for coming out and supporting us and talking to us and checking us out, hating on us, whatever you want to do. But thanks for coming. We love the fact that you visit every week. And this is another word for street light therapy. We talk to everybody outside all the time. We call that street light therapy. But when we get in here, we get to talk about what we do, our passions, and what we love. And we appreciate you guys coming out and sharing with it. And we love it. So until next week, we'll talk about some dire wolves. We'll be bringing on Marissa Tellez. We got some other stuff to do. So I think it's going to be really good. So I just want to say
hi,
good night,
Julie.
folks. Hello, Julie. I want to say thank you for all coming out. And for those who know us personally, we'll see you soon. Good night.